let's bring it in. Episode 180. And let me just preface that right now. In the last episode, you'll see that I messed up the number count. I think it was probably like the second time I've done that. So I apologize. I'm only human. But this episode 180 of the Masters in Creation podcast, man, where everyone is a master of their own creation. And, a lot of swaggy individuals have, come up to join us. Not that, it hasn't happened in the past, but just as of late, a lot of good swag has been in the building. My guest today is just a super dope up upcycle jewelry creator, and this is just like taking jewelry and repurposing it in just such a dope creative way. I have Alayna. You may know her as Creature Comforts on Instagram. Alayna, what is going on?
Hello.
How you doing? How you doing? How you living? How's life?
Pretty good. Busy.
Yeah.
It's like definitely,
Right here in the mic a little bit more.
the dead of market season.
Yeah.
So just a busy gal. Like,
Yeah.
busy in the best way.
I feel you. How's this week been going for you? Like, this feels feel like the longest week for me. It's only Wednesday.
Yeah.
But
It has felt like a longer week because last week I had 2 pop-ups, and when I have like 2 markets, like that week will just zip by and
Right.
run out of time for all the stuff I need to do. And this week I'm like, wow, I'm not running around like a crazy person.
Right.
So it has been a little bit slower, which is nice.
that's good. Awesome. Well, I feel like we're just kind of talking off camera, like, for people who may not, like people know you by face, you know what I mean? But like they don't necessarily know who you are because like just like your name isn't the one on your Instagram and like it's just strictly for business, honestly. But
Yeah.
I feel like this is why it's like this is like so dope. Just so like you can someone can at least reference this, just to even get a sense of, who you are, just like your story, why you do what you do,
Definitely.
and like, that'll, just might even make them connect with, just what they're buying from you.
Yes, definitely. I am definitely one of those people, like when people say to make a short story long,
Yeah.
like that is me. I prefer kind of like a longer
Beautiful.
conversation. So
So you're perfect for a podcast. You say is what you say. Word up. All right.
definitely like I'm scared that's a long time, but also it's like it's nice to just have it be a conversation instead of like making content,
Yeah.
making reels and having to be like, okay, Elena, keep this under 10 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not really like who I am.
No, I feel you. No, definitely. So just even kind of jumping right to it. Are you from Pittsburgh originally, or?
I am not. No, I am from outside of Charlotte in North Carolina.
Okay, word up. What brought you to Pittsburgh?
My partner is a twin, and his twin moved to Pittsburgh, and I was told that twins will just spontaneously combust if they don't live in the same town.
Right. There might actually be science to that. Like,
Showed up here.
yeah, right.
But it worked out for me because I actually love Pittsburgh.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it was really cool. I went to school at App State University, so
Okay.
the Appalachian region
Okay.
I very much love. So it was kind of a natural. I was like, cute. It's got a good art scene. It's got a good music scene in Pittsburgh. Got the mountains.
All right.
I'll move there, I guess.
Hell yeah, no, for sure. So I mean, just like, how was life going up for you, kind of like near Charlotte?
Yeah, I definitely grew up like in the suburbs.
Yeah.
So I was like definitely an oddball
Yeah.
in that area. Like just I loved going to Charlotte like for the weekend or like visiting my grandma who lived a bit closer to Charlotte because it just had a bit more going on. There's like people wearing fun things and fun things just happening around. Like, so kind of where I grew up, I was kind of like, get me out of here.
Yeah, right.
It was like just a bit like not my environment.
Yeah. I mean, like it just is what it is. Like where people, it's not like straight laced isn't the word, but it's just like you just deviated from what a lot of people,
Yes.
just were doing in your town. I mean, and it
Yes.
just is what it is. Like I feel like most creative people are that way.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is like definitely a common feeling.
Exactly.
People that like live a creative life. It's like I didn't fit in.
Yeah, right.
I didn't really though.
No, I mean, listen, it is what it is. But it's like you just kind of find your tribe or just like your community. It's like just throughout life. I mean, it's like as you even find yourself. I mean, like you just kind of are more in tune to what environments you want to be in, just
Yes,
like what people you want to be around. So, that
definitely.
that makes sense. So you said you moved with your partner. How was the initial adjustment period for you in Pittsburgh? Is it like are there any similarities to Charlotte, like, or is it just like a completely different vibe for you?
It's so from like I guess Charlotte area, kind of where I grew up, I would say it's very different, but I went to school in Boone, North Carolina,
Okay.
and it's funny actually a lot of people that I kind of knew either from school or just from living in Boone like moved to Pittsburgh. There's
Yeah.
actually like we joke like there's kind of like this like pipeline of like
Yeah.
Boone to Pittsburgh because if you like tap into the right spaces in Pittsburgh, there's a really like creative, very focused on people like supporting people's dreams
Right.
and like, small business and uplifting each other instead of like competition
You're saying in Pittsburgh or
in
on Boone? Okay. Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Okay. Word.
And
All right.
and there, that was definitely in Boone also. That
Okay.
was a very if you kind of knew where to go and stuff, like it was a very creative, collaborative community,
It's dope.
and I've seen a lot of similarities in that in the yeah, in the space here in Pittsburgh, like other vintage sellers or other
Yeah.
jewelry
Definitely.
makers, like people that I've like met now. Everyone's just like, how can I support you? Like we're not fighting over a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
Everyone's just
Fair
like,
enough.
what
Yeah.
you do is so cool. It's like really supportive, which is awesome.
No, I mean, I feel like the thrift just market or culture is very heavy in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't even really know that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like it's definitely just like like a heavy culture here. Like, you have, I feel like the more like known ones are like the Zeds and all that. You know what I mean? There's like is 412 a thrift?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Forgive me if I'm fucking that up, but there's just like I saw that say like there's a whole like there's definitely like a huge thrift culture here.
Yes. Yes.
Was that something like you kind of realized immediately when you got here, like did take some time?
I would say it took some time. I was also on a very different path when I first moved here. I've been here probably 3, maybe going on 4. I don't know. It's
Oh,
been
it's just like
weird.
we're like kind of like we arrived in Pittsburgh at the same time. Cause like yeah, like I moved here top of 2021, so like
Okay.
like I've been here for like 4 years
Oh
now.
wow.
Yeah,
So you're not from here either.
yeah, no, I'm from Maryland originally.
Where are you from?
Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Cool.
yeah.
So you kind of like stepped into your creative space a bit here too.
100%.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
great.
No, I mean this is the reason why I moved out here. So
Okay, very
yeah,
cool. Very cool.
I'm not trying to beat a dead horse because it's like 108 episodes in. If anyone has caught an episode of the podcast, I've just reiterated my story so many times. I'm sure at some point it'll be like, "Yo, shut the fuck up. We know you're from Maryland, my my G's. Like, yo, just calm down. But yeah, no, yeah, from Maryland. Moved out here 4 years ago to do the podcast. So yeah.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's cool that you kind of knew that there was this creative like bubble here.
Well, no, like I didn't know at all. Like,
Okay.
so like again, like the owner, and fuck, it, we're just gonna go into it again. Yeah, like the owner of the platform again. Shout out, the Mastering Creation. Michael Harrell. He, long story short, was going through some shit in life, and he was just kind of in my ear about starting this media company and moving to Pittsburgh. And I was just kind of like if because I had just gotten like laid off at the time. I was living in Colorado and like had to move back because I got laid off. So like I was like I don't know, but he's like, yo, just come out here for a week, see if you fuck with it. Came out here for a week. He pretty much just laid out like what he saw me doing, and just like how he saw me just evolving and just like living life in Pittsburgh, and just like
Gotcha.
doing what I was on. I'm just kind of like jaw to the floor, like damn, like a nigga's about to move to fucking Pittsburgh, like fuck, all right, fuck it. And so like after
It's a
that
weird
week,
move. It's like
I
you
know,
don't
right?
like Pittsburgh. And you're
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's cool.
and it's like yo, like I fucking moved, like flew to Colorado, like it's just like.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
how much more is it 3 hours of wait? And like I was like, yo, if all else fails, I can just fucking move back home. It's like a
True.
3 hour drive. You feel me? So
Yeah.
after that, like week, came back home, booked the Airbnb, just packed like a suitcase and a duffel bag of shit I thought I would need. And I was on a pretty sure it was a Greyhound. Yeah, took a Greyhound. Yeah, yeah. Here we are 4 years later. You feel me? So like that's just kind of my journey. But like, how was your like initial just adjustment period?
Yeah, so I I was in a very different I was on a different path when I first moved here. I feel like I've always known that creativity is very, very important to me
Mm.
and just like my daily life. But I didn't really have any examples of how that could be like a job. So I just thought it was something I had to kind of just like push off and like focus on getting a real job and
Yeah.
all that whole thing, like go to college and then get da, da, da,
What'd you get your degree in?
I got my degree in anthropology and
Okay.
nonprofit management.
Okay, word.
So, yeah, I was on a very different path.
Yeah.
Like, I got accepted into the Peace Corps. Like,
Oh
I
shit.
was like really like going in a very different direction, a
Yeah.
lovely direction.
Yeah, yeah.
Just never a lot of people around me were really supportive of that path, and I kind of wanted to live up to that for
Yeah.
them. And so when I moved to Pittsburgh, I was like supposed to get a nonprofit job. I'm looking. Like I had just left like an AmeriCorps job that I had back in North Carolina. That was like not my favorite thing.
Mm.
And just kind of having like a identity crisis of like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I need to find a job in a nonprofit and like keep on this path. And I just found myself like,
Should I hear with the mic a little bit more?
sorry, yeah,
You good, you good. No problem.
just not it was like trying to, they say fit a like square peg into a round hole or whatever. I was just kind of like
Yeah, right. Just trying to
like
force something that wasn't natural, yeah.
I was like this is not it. And so I was in Pittsburgh. I was like, okay, I'm kind of starting over. I'm
Yeah.
starting fresh. And I was working at a restaurant, and I had some really lovely coworkers and friends, like, because I've always kind of made jewelry for myself,
Okay.
and I would like wear it to work, and they were like, "You need to sell that shit." And
Yeah.
I was like, "What? No,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?" And
Right.
they really, really kind of encouraged me. They were like, "Just make an Instagram, just see what it feels like, just test it out."
Mm-hmm.
And I did, and I was very quickly like so excited. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I've
Facts.
known that my whole
Yep.
life, but
Mhm.
I just was like trying to, like live up to other things and,
Yeah. Just
make
bullshit.
friends.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You could be on
Like,
just bullshit, you know what I mean? Just like doing everything else but just doing the thing, you know what I mean?
that
It's just
I
like
was fighting all the
exactly, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
hey, can we
Right.
have more time to be
Exactly.
creative? Hey, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, shut up.
No.
I got
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Capitalism's on my tail. Yeah, right.
be a corporate girl. Oh,
Right, right, right.
so
No.
me.
Right, yeah. I mean, I didn't like, shout out, all it takes is like a dope coworker to be like, yo, I fuck what you got going on, so, why
No,
not?
it's really, really sweet. I honestly like never thought that I would pursue this the way that I have.
Hell yeah.
And the main reason I have is because I've had a lot of supportive, lovely people in my life like tell me to go for it. So
Absolutely.
I'm really lucky that I've had those voices like in my ear here.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. No, and shout out to them. So when like do you remember, I guess, like, jewelry kind of even first appealing to you? Like
I think that I have always like been obsessed with fashion and
right.
like adornments and like when the
I've
Halloween
never heard the adornments. I never heard
yes,
that.
this is one of my favorite words
Yeah.
because because as an upcycler,
Yeah.
like adorning is just decorating
Right.
something, whether it's a house, whether it's your body,
That
whether
shit
it's
sounds
you.
regal, like
It's
royal as fuck. Like,
right.
yeah.
It's like so it sounds so ooh, and I'm
Yeah,
like
right.
really I'm just like picking up bottle caps and
Right, 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 right.
so it like makes it sound really
Of
classy.
course, yeah.
And I like that in my upcycling I do make things that are not wearable designs, and I like that
Mm,
adornments is a good umbrella
right.
for just decor, decorating the body, decorating the home.
Okay, so like it's not necessarily jewelry, but like it's just like pieces. Okay, that you could use to, like, decorate the crib or just like,
Yes.
yeah, like you said, decor and all that.
Yes, I
Okay.
definitely have a big focus on jewelry now. I think I've always loved fashion, and
Yeah.
show that I watched, I'm like pausing it and like looking at all the outfits.
I feel that. I
Like
feel that.
really just drawn to all of that. I went to a school that had a school uniform, so I would like push the boundaries as much as I could. I
Oh no, I know they hated you.
oh
Alayna, you can Alayna, please tuck in
Yes.
that. Alayna, you cannot
Yes.
cuff your collar in that fashion, Alayna.
I had a pair of tights in every single pattern because I was like,
Yeah.
you can't say no to this.
Oh no, yeah, right.
Like it's obnoxious, but it's allowed.
Yeah, right, right.
I'm gonna wear it. So I think I've always just loved dressing up and clothes and the different kind of personalities you can like
Word.
create with
Absolutely.
yourself,
Yeah.
like with how you dress.
Mhm.
Um, but jewelry specifically, I was a manager at a consignment shop in Boone in college.
Well, it's a consignment shop. I'm not.
It
It's a.
is like it's like people, Plato's Closet.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
facts.
like that.
Okay.
But it was a small business. It's called Anna Bananas. Shout out Anna Bananas. I love you
Shout
guys.
out to Miss Banana. Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Banana. Miss you.
Yeah.
Really, that was like a wonderful, wonderful job.
Yeah.
She really encouraged me, kind of planted the first seed of like, you could have a shop one day. And I was like, no way.
That's
So
cool. Yeah.
she's awesome.
Yeah.
But people would bring in their clothes and we would like sell them and then they get a percentage of the cut. The store gets a
Copy.
percentage of the
Copy.
cut.
Copy.
So
Okay.
we would get a bunch of jewelry and stuff and there'd be a lot of broken pieces, like a lot of earrings that lost a back or things, and we just gotta take that with us because otherwise it's just being donated.
Mm-hmm.
So in college I just started, because it's kind of, if you have two pairs of pliers, you can kind of start just hooking things together and see
Shit.
what happens.
Yeah.
So it was
Right.
like a really like accessible way,
Hmm.
low cost up front, to kind of just mess around and like take little bits and pieces of things and string them together in fun ways.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that for a long time. I mean, even, yeah, before that as a kid, like I'd take a skirt and figure out how to wear it as a dress and
Okay.
put a shoelace through it so I can make a strap out of it. Like,
Okay.
I've always been like, how can I wear this in a weird, fun way?
Yeah. So like, I mean, it sounds like fashion was the creative outlet for you. Like was there any other ones floating around, just like even from like when you were a kid, or was it just mainly fashion that just kind of appealed to you?
I tried on so many different creative hats.
Yeah.
I
Right.
was not good at any of them,
Yeah.
which is fine. I wanted to be a painter for a minute. I'm terrible at it, but it's fun.
The want was there. Yeah. Right. Right.
Yes, yes. Then I was like, okay, a creative writer. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm a terrible writer now, but it felt good.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna be a poet. Like I did try on pretty much every like creative hat there is,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wasn't very like skilled in a lot of those ways, and also just not as naturally drawn.
Fair. Yeah.
Like I liked to do it kind of like therapeutically, like drawing or journaling or poetry, or it was always like to kind of express something inside, but kind of the obsession that I could not like get away from was always like fashion,
Yeah.
and an outfit and how to put something together. Like that has just been a through line like
Absolutely.
my entire life.
No, I feel
Definitely.
that. No, no, no. I didn't feel that. So, and like you even kind of touched on it, just like even kind of speaking on your journey. But like, what made you go the upcycled route as far as like jewelry and all that? Like, why not just And I don't know how the jewelry industry works, but like get a job at just like a jeweler. You know what I mean? Or just like
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, so I think my mom is extremely environmentally conscientious, like very much so. I was raised in a household with little to no plastic, no paper towels, like all of our like my lunchbox was made by this nonprofit that like collects juice boxes, sews them together.
Okay, word.
It,
Yeah, right.
it's been around me since I like
You
came
could
into
even
this
remember.
world.
Yeah, right. Facts.
All of our like my school lunches that my mom would pack, there were thermoses for everything. Like just very much, she's just very mindful of
Yeah.
like producing waste and how we treat the earth and like just trying to not destroy the only planet that we have.
Fair enough.
So I think I just really grew up around it. I grew
Okay.
up around that. I naturally had this inclination to not want to buy new, to not produce more trash and stuff. So that was always there. I think also it's just a bit more accessible, specifically with jewelry. I mean, silver, gold, that shit is expensive.
Of
Like
course.
all the tools, like the tools that you need for like fine jewelry, it's pretty intense. Like you need, 10 machines. I mean, not always. It depends on what kind you want to do, but
Yeah.
pretty expensive to get into. So I think upcycling was a nice, it was already kind of there for me. I was working in a consignment shop. There were bits of things. I'd start putting them together. Like,
Hmm.
I also just love old stuff. Like, I like the charm of something that's been around. Typically, a lot of that stuff is higher quality than anything being made today.
Yeah.
Thus, again, you're like a fine jeweler, like
Right,
that
right,
kind of
right,
stuff. But
right.
like costume jewelry from the 80s, kind of great.
Yeah, it's
It's
fire.
like
Yeah,
pretty,
that's
it's like
it's dope.
in great condition, great material. So yeah, I think
Just kind
it
of natural
felt
on it.
very
Yeah, for
natural.
sure.
Yeah.
I was even
Yeah.
gonna say, and like if they couldn't pick up from context clues, like just for anyone who may not know, like what is upcycling specifically?
Yes. So upcycling is taking something that it's typically like turning something that already exists into something new.
Mm.
So a lot of upcycling would be like thrifting
Right.
like a dress and then cutting that and, turning it into a two-piece set. Or sometimes it's something that item couldn't possibly be unless you upcycled it. So
Okay.
like
Okay.
I have made like a shirt out of old film slides and a skirt
What?
out of
That's
film slides.
crazy.
It was so fun.
Yeah, that sounds
It's
fire.
so fun. So like things that kind of aren't supposed to be
Yeah.
textiles and turning them into textiles, or like a watch. Like a watch isn't supposed to be on your neck. It's supposed to
No.
be on your
I
wrist.
gotta get
So like
that. Yeah.
it's kind of taking something that already exists and turning it into something new.
Almost like an alchemy. Like it's just like yeah. Like I think that's alchemy works on like the same principles. Like you're not necessarily um like making something from nothing.
Yes.
It's already
Exactly.
there and you're just
Exactly.
changing the nature of it.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, no, for sure. And like again, like if no one could have picked up, what exactly upcycling was, there's just like the textbook definition for you.
Super general
Technical, yeah,
answer.
right, yeah, but speaking of, watches not supposed to be on your neck,
Yeah.
I think your watch necklaces are some of the most dope things I've seen just jewelry wise. I mean, like that shit is super, super hard. Like and like I'm even peeping the choker you got on right now. That shit is crazy. Then you got the watch ring too. That's fire.
I got watches on all the time.
Right. So like
the wrist though.
yeah, right. I never know what time it really is,
Yes,
but
you
yeah,
do.
it's clocks all around me.
Yes.
So like what just even kind of just drew your eye into like changing a watch into like a choker necklace situation.
I think again with like just kind of collecting old bits and bobs, like I just had some watches laying around that either like the band was too small for my wrist or the band was broken or something, and I think I made some earrings first cuz a lot of those old ones like have a nice like loop that is really easy to kind of just add a earring hook to.
Mm-hmm.
And I like kind of have a love-hate relationship with time. Like I'm definitely a deeply nostalgic human being.
Right.
Like I live in the past. I live
You and me both, man. Yeah, right. Yeah, I feel you. I feel
live
you.
it there.
I'm
Like
the same way. Yeah. I'm the same. No, no. I'm definitely heavy on the nostalgia. Like if anyone knows me, that's even kind of just even mixed in my whole vibe. Like I think it is important to look at what we got going on
def.
forward, what I mean, and just like keep a pulse
Mhm.
on like what is kind of like the cutting edge. I hate that I say cutting edge, Jesus, but but just like what's at like just like the forefront of like what
Yes.
people are fucking with nowadays. But
Yes.
again, some of like the shit that we've lived through. I'm about to be 30. I'm in May. I'm not sure how old you are, but like just like kind of
29.
there you go. What I mean, so like we're in the same boat.
Yep.
It's like we and like shout out to my right, like we were even talking like our generation is like such in like a unique spot because like we grew up prior, like just before the internet boom.
Yes.
So like we knew a life prior to that,
Yes.
but at the same time, like some of the first cell phones, not the first cell phones, but just like the cell phone boom
For
into like the iPod Touch into the iPhone into what we got now.
Yes.
We lived through all that, so it's like
Yes.
we have just seen so many iterations of really society for real. Like
Yes. Yes. It's very weird. I'm the oldest of four girls, so I'm looking at kind of my younger sisters, and the one right after me, I mean, technically, I guess, lived in a world like pre that, but she was so young. Like she had, well, I don't know if she had an Instagram, but Instagram was around when she was, probably a fifth grader. So then my
yeah, that's
younger
crazy. Yeah,
sister, that it's just been her life. She
that's
grew up
yeah,
like,
right.
Alexa, play.
That's nuts. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like,
Alexa was the first person she met. Yeah, yeah, that was the first person she ever met. Like, yeah,
like,
yeah, right, yeah. That is
from
nuts.
that.
Real shit.
Yes. So it is very weird to like see like I grew up running around outside being like a dirty barefoot kid and
Yeah,
like you're like, I need the air conditioning. And
yeah,
I'm
right.
like kind of like, you know, messing with my
Of
youngest
course, of
sister.
course,
But
yeah.
it is, yeah, it's definitely freaky.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
we've had a very big, yeah, I mean, like the Industrial Revolution. This has been the technological,
Hundred, one
revolution
thousand
that
percent,
we've
one
gone
thousand
through that.
percent.
And it's super weird.
It's crazy as hell.
Very weird.
Yeah, no, but you're just saying like like nostalgia, just like
Yes.
kind of a part of your
Yes.
bag.
Yes, definitely love nostalgia. And so like working with like watches, I don't know. I love thinking about where have all these pieces been?
Yeah,
Obviously the watches like literally represent time,
yeah.
And then a lot of the watches are all the watches that I use are untested, so I don't know if they work. They
Okay.
might not.
Yeah.
Because you can't read it on your neck anyway. So I just tell people like you can set it to a date that like means something to you. If
Oh,
it
that's
doesn't work,
fire.
then you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
set it to 412 or like whatever,
Yeah, right.
and have that be a part of your piece. And
Absolutely.
like, yeah.
Absolutely. No, so like what is so like when you're making something like a
Hmm.
watch choker, watch necklace, like what is that process like for you?
It is super free flow. It is
Okay.
very like it's a very collaborative. I like to say collaborate with the vintage pieces, with the watches, with the brooches. Like, what do you guys want to see? Like,
Yeah, right.
let's figure this out together.
Kind of like a Beauty and the Beast situation where like the fucking
Yes.
the cups are dancing and
keep
yeah, right.
Hey,
Yeah, right. What do you guys want to be today? Like, yeah. That's funny as hell. Yeah.
it for you.
Right.
Yeah, because everything is one of one, everything is upcycled, everything is just like it's just a beautiful collection of like bits and pieces. It's very hard to have a like a lot of creatives obviously sketch something out and then they try to bring that sketch to life.
Sure.
I think for me, that is just not my creative process. It sets things up for like the possibility of failure, which I don't handle very well. It's like
Who does, right? Yeah.
on blueprint. I just
Yeah,
want to
right.
make something and see
Yeah.
what happens.
You don't want to be necessarily beholden to something.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. I feel you.
Exactly.
I feel you.
And when you're upcycling, like there are some like limitations obviously. It's like maybe this can't attach to this in the way that I want to because this piece of metal doesn't have a loop, or like there are some things that arise during the like process of creating each piece that if I had a sketch they would never turn out like the sketch. They
Sure,
just
yeah,
never
right.
would.
Yeah, right.
So really I typically like start with a watch. I see what kind of metals are in there, what kind of colors, what kind of vibe does the watch remind me of. Maybe like armor? Does it remind me of like a more French Rococo like style? Like I'd kind of see what the style is, and then it's like a puzzle. I take my big pendants out, I lay them out, see what looks nice, and I take the little charms out, and I just kind of piece it. It's like a collage.
Yeah.
It's a wearable collage.
Yeah. I could even kind of see the gears turning right now as you talking. Like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
just
well,
dope.
I was just cranking stuff out today before I got
Okay,
here.
word, okay.
It's like, yep, this goes together. This
Yeah.
like in that headspace.
100%.
Yeah, so it's very, very free flow and very it's fun because I have no idea what's gonna
Happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, we'll see. And yeah, it's cool to see something like kind of just come together. in front of me.
What made you like want to go heavy on that? Like, is just like when you first popped out with just like the your like initial watch chokers. Like, what was like the reception like to that?
I think people were like, I also just love like breaking rules. Like I
Yeah.
hate being told what to do.
Yeah. Right.
And so
Right.
like wearing a watch on your neck, I was like, yeah, like
Right. Yeah. Right.
like you're not supposed to do this. There was like an element of that. And also there are a bajillion watches in thrift stores. People
Hmm.
go for earrings, people go for necklaces, and I think nowadays more people are like kind of wearing physical watches again, but there were just so many. They
Yeah.
were so easy to find that I was like, well, I'm just going to crank a bunch of these out and make some necklaces, and they already have like a bunch of holes in them that make it really easy to attach jump rings. They just were like a really fun thing to work with, that there were so many of them. So it was easy access, because that can be a hard thing with upcycling. It's
Yeah.
like there is no .com like for me to go
So,
to like
100%.
source
Yep.
materials,
Like you're the blueprint for that. Like 100%.
find these things. And to be honest, I'm in a little bit of a watch drought right now
Oh,
because I've
word.
like hit up all my sources like
Yeah.
so much that now I'm like, there are not so many watches
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Hey, just listen. Like at this point, just go snatch them from a civilian. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You might just have to go to
I
the strip
need that.
district. Yeah, just
I'm
go to
so
the strip district.
sorry.
Yeah, no. Just hit the strip district and just
Yeah.
aggressively ask for that watch. Like, yo, I'm gonna,
Listen, I have a vision for that.
I'm
Let it.
gonna need that. Yeah, I'm gonna need that watch. But
Yeah.
so a lot of your pieces, just even from an adornment standpoint, again, shout out to that word. I'm gonna definitely use that, that word at some point. But, just even from like, jewelry piece standpoint, adornment standpoint, like these are all one of one, joints you're making. I mean, so like, how do you keep the creativity fresh and like it not kind of,
Mm-hmm.
like how do you kind of battle burnout in that sense?
Oh, what a question. That is really hard. I think especially as I've seen growth in my business, it's I don't know how I'm battling the burnout. I'll be honest, I don't know. And also like the creativity, it's like most fashion brands or jewelry brands, like typical ones, if you're making things like from scratch, it's kind of like you have these styles that have certain names. It's like, this is the Aphrodite necklace, this is the da da da. And you can kind of crank a bunch out of that style. With the watch necklaces, every piece is different, and I was finding it really hard to keep up with like demand. I'm like, I can't make these fast enough. I like cannot produce these
Yeah,
faster.
facts.
So I have found myself kind of falling into, when I get into production mode versus creative mode, and that sometimes is like, okay, I'm gonna make a necklace, that is beaded, and there's a watch, and that's it. And those are kind of the easier ones that
Yeah,
are kind of just like, they are all different because they're different watches, different beads, but I know what the process is going to be with it.
sure.
It's just kind of like, okay, crank these out. Like before a market, sometimes I just gotta crank out some things that don't necessarily excite me and my creative brain, but that's kind of the business
Yeah, right.
side of it.
Exactly right.
And I think this summer I noticed myself being way too business minded about the things I was making, and kind of I felt myself censoring my like creative intuition, being like, well, that won't sell.
Hmm.
I need to put this on there.
Yeah,
This'll
yeah.
sell. And that's no fun.
I was,
That's
I mean, no facts. Like I was even about to say, like that balance is so important,
yeah.
especially if because like I'm sure as you grow, as you expand, like people can help you out with this, like so
Yeah.
you can focus on just making the dope shit, and
Yeah.
other people can handle who it goes to, and like who's buying them and stuff. But for now, it's just you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like that balance of like this is a business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that's why I can even keep doing what I'm doing is because
Yes.
there is money coming in. But like at
Exactly.
the same time, it's like that's not fun. Like
No.
that ain't lit. You know what I mean? Like just like point blank and period. So it's like, how has it been for you? Just like even at this point in your journey of just finding that balance as far as like business and then just staying true to your creative
Mm-hmm.
nature.
Yeah, I think it's really important to check myself when I have been making a lot of stuff and I haven't like run downstairs to show my partners
Yeah,
like, oh,
right.
look at this, look what I made. When
Yeah.
that hasn't happened in a minute, I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
making things to sell
Yeah.
right now. I'm not making things that are exciting me, that are like, that I am, not that I'm not proud of these other pieces, but that really like feeds that
Right.
creative energy and like really fuels me. So that's always a good reminder, like,
Good gauge.
oh, I haven't gone down to show Sam anything in a while. I've made like 60 necklaces. Like, I need to kind of just clear
Yeah,
the
yeah.
table and get that watch out that I bought 3 years ago that I haven't touched because I don't know what to do with it yet, and just see if I can crack that code.
Yeah.
Like, kind of just trying to do something for me and for creativity instead of I have this pop up and then I have this drop and then I have this and then it's definitely easy to get caught up in that, and I think I definitely have this summer. But the last week or so I've been like, no, I'm just going to make something fun. Like, actually, this necklace, I had a different charm at the end, a much smaller, chiller charm.
Yeah.
It's already a lot, which
Yeah.
I love.
No, it's fire. Like that
Like,
whole stack is dope.
it's so fun. But I wanted this whistle. This is a whistle that actually works.
Is that like a conductor's whistle?
I have no idea. I don't know. It says
That's the joint they had on the Polar Express.
it does.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, right, yeah.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Facts.
Yeah, so I had like a charm on there that I thought made this necklace more sellable, more approachable.
Yeah, right.
Then I was like, no,
Fuck
this
that,
is
yeah.
what it's supposed to be.
There
The
you go.
whistle's supposed to be on here.
There you go.
I've had this whistle for again probably like 2 years and
Wow.
just didn't know
What quite
what
say, yeah.
piece to fit it into because it's a big thing and it like it does work. And
Yeah.
like,
Oh, it works.
oh, it works.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh shit. That is serious. Yeah.
The fact that it's long enough.
Yeah, right.
Wearing it.
That's tough. Yeah.
I'm like, this is so fun. I want it on there.
There you go.
So
That's
I
tough.
kept it on there. And that was a moment like this week where I let, creative Alayna.
And that's what I'm saying. It's found its home. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what better place for it.
To be
There you
on
go.
this piece.
Nice.
And I feel good about it. So I've gotten a lot better at kind of checking myself where
Yeah.
I'm like getting to,
Like,
is this going to sell? Is
Yeah.
this going to sell? Whatever.
that's what I'm saying. And it's just like, if you're just creating from just like the well of just being genuine, just being like, bro, people are going to be drawn to that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like, it's not
Yes.
like you're like completely sacrificing the business. So like, no one's gonna
Yes.
buy this shit. You know what I mean? But it's just like, you
Exactly.
don't want it to feel like a chore. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes, actually, I watched like a little video. I think it's Rick Rubin. I think he's.
Oh, I mean,
Yes.
dope, just source of knowledge.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just like creative.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's dope.
And I listened to this interview or podcast, something that he did, and he said very similar to what you just said. Basically, like, do you want to know why people are buying things and you've found success? It's because people like what you're doing.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
just do what you're doing.
Literally, yeah.
Don't make it thinking, oh, it won't sell to this. It'll find the right person because
That's what it is.
you've already found a lot of people that are down with the shit that you're making.
Exactly.
So, like, just trust yourself.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. No.
Whistle on
Again,
there.
and shout out to Rick Rubin, man. Just
Yes.
again, just like a super dope. Just like just even catch some clips of his interviews. He's probably just saying some wise shit,
Yep.
some wise ass shaman shit. We're just like,
Yes.
damn, bro. Like,
I just
yeah,
came out of you.
yeah, right, for real. But so like, so you said your coworker even kind of gave you the nudge of like starting your online, storefront,
Yes.
boutique. How was it getting that off the ground? When did you start to like see real traction on that?
Yes. So I started an Instagram, and originally I was just posting like things that I was making, not even to sell, just like, I don't know, do people think this is fun?
Yeah.
It started off as a thrift account actually, or
Okay.
like a fashion thrift account where I was just like showing stuff that I was finding that was secondhand.
Right.
And then I don't. It was like January. I have no idea what year it is. I have no idea what's going on.
I know, right? Real shit.
I have no idea. People are always like, "How long have you been doing this?" I'm like, "No idea."
I don't know. I may have been born doing this. Like, yeah.
No idea. I don't know.
I know, right?
I think after like 6 months, I was just posting stuff that I was making for me, or like, oh, it was around Christmas. It's like, here's the necklace I made for my little sister. This is what she's into. Like, I was just posting
Yeah.
on Instagram. And then, yeah, I'd say about 6 months into starting the Instagram, well, I started posting some necklaces for sale, and some of them sold, some of them didn't. And then I'd say in May, so like 4 months later, maybe,
Yeah.
things started selling.
Okay.
And people were asking me for custom necklaces. I was like, what's going on? I don't know how to do that. I don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say like what made like were they just hoping you did customs or like okay, got you. Wow,
Yeah.
bold. Yeah,
Oh,
bold. Yeah.
I'm like, sure. Let me tell you, I figured out how to make a
Yeah,
custom
I'm
necklace.
as a motherfucker, like
Yes.
yeah,
Yes, because I was trying to, I was gaining that traction and I didn't want to lose it. So yeah, I think probably 6 months into it, I had my first, like, I went to the post office and I had like 5 orders to ship out in a
damn,
day. And I was like, this is
got
wild.
something here. Yeah, got something here.
Yeah. And then it's really, I, it just has grown so much since then, like so much more than I thought. I really am blown away by like what my life is.
Just like yeah, right, and like so like you said like just like at least for now like you just handle it all primarily through IG.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been saying that I'm working on the website for a year.
yeah,
And I am like looking into things. I'm not actively working because I'm not skilled in that area. It is not fun to me. I barely understand like a smartphone. Like, I am not a technology.
might have to outsource that. But like even there's shit like Squarespace too. Like I'm not
Yes.
sure where it's just like they make shit like
Yes.
that easy for you. But
I've been told it's
yeah,
not as scary as I think.
because like they'll even have like whole templates where it's like you click on it
Yes.
and that's what it looks like, and like you just type in, you know, like you just fill in the blanks of like what you need the
Yes.
joint to look like specifically. But you know they kind of streamline it for you. But
Yes.
yeah,
I think I've been working on getting like a logo solidified for, again, probably over a year, I'd say. And that's kind of been holding me off from getting a website together because I haven't had a logo this whole time. It's just been this gorgeous like cartoon that my cousin drew of me.
yeah,
And so I've been really trying to nail down that logo and kind of the branding direction that I want to go towards so that I can just like level up a little bit. So I'm trying to get that kind of nailed down before I work on a website.
yeah.
I'm also just pushing off the website.
I mean, like, is it like
Writing it.
I was gonna say, like, is it challenging just to like field DMs like that? Like, do you kind of get overwhelmed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it definitely is. It's like a really crazy way to like handle business for sure. It and I've definitely lost out on customers who are like, who are you? You want me to just Venmo you? I'm like, yeah, I promise this isn't a scam. I know it seems crazy, but just send me your shipping address. Like, it is not efficient what
Yeah.
they're doing. It is not. It's very much like art girly attempting business. Like, that's like what's happening right now. So yeah, I do have some of that kind of more like big picture business stuff happening in the background, trying to just like have my business and the way I conduct business match like the growth that I've seen
Right,
kind of
right.
like happen faster than I thought. So now I'm like, there are a lot of you looking at these things. Like, I need to get a website together so that people can,
It just kind of like just creates like a it's like a landing spot for all those people. You know what I mean?
yes, exactly. Instead, the landing spot is me.
Yeah, right.
DMs.
I was about to say, do you have a personal Instagram or is it just like all just housed in
It's
one place?
on my business
Okay,
Instagram.
yeah,
Yeah, that's why no one knows my name.
yeah, right,
Not
yeah,
on there, and it's
yeah,
just like
right.
my business Instagram, but they know my face because if you want to, because I conduct business like, I don't have an Etsy. A lot of people
Yeah,
are like, do Etsy. I don't have an Etsy. I have done all of my business and all of my growth on Instagram, which means I also have to be a content creator. Like, that's just part
so
of it.
I mean, Jesus, I mean, you're not
Also not fun
well.
to
I mean,
me.
because like you even said that I got fucking tired. Like, yeah,
Yes, exactly.
and it's like, cause like like I don't necessarily create content. Like again, I got a TikTok, which if I'm in the mood, like I haven't really posted in like a while, but if I'm in the mood, I'll just do some like dickhead shit, whatever, just like
Yeah.
crack a joke, or whatever. But it's like apart from that, the podcast, like like we post clips,
Yes.
obviously, like we post episodes. It's just like when you're pushing out content, man, it's just you
Yes.
have to just be really cognizant. Like you have to just do it just in a cognitive way.
Yes.
And just like to pump out just content after content. It's just like holy shit.
Yeah.
But it's necessary though,
It
you know what I
is.
mean?
It
Like
is a
it's just the game we're in, yeah.
It is. It's the name of the
100%.
game. You have to do it.
Yeah.
And it is not fun.
Yeah, right.
It's not the part that I like necessarily. That will be the first thing. That once I kind of get my ducks in a row, that's the first thing I'm looking to outsource.
Yeah, just the content creation.
And the gram. I don't want to do it.
No, I feel you.
Talking to people, but I don't know what's trending. Like I am so a zillennial. Like I don't know what's going on. Like,
Yeah,
people are
right.
like, haven't you seen this trend? I'm like, no, I
Yeah,
have no
right.
idea. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. I know, right? So like because you make one of one pieces, like is it hard to like let some shit go?
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yes.
Yeah. It's like your baby every time. Yeah, right.
Yes, I've gotten so much better. I've gotten much, much, much better because now I've been doing this for years and I see all the like cool new stuff that I like can get my hands on and make. So I know that there will always be cool, fun stuff that if a piece really, really, I'm not gonna lie, this one is kind of speaking to me in a deep way. I like, and I haven't kept one in a while.
Right,
So
right.
I'm like, maybe I will allow myself. But I do like to kind of wear pieces before I sell them, one to like get it out of my system.
Right. Yeah.
So
You just gotta test it.
yeah,
Yeah. You just gotta christen it, adorn it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me get this quick adornment for you real quick, and then you can buy it. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm making sure nothing's loose.
Yeah, right,
Leaking.
right.
I'm actually testing it for you.
That's funny as hell because like my mom when I was younger, like with food, she'd be like, "Yo, like let me taste it just so like I know it's not poison." Get the first bite. I'm just like, "Yo, what if it was?"
Yes.
So like, you just jumping on that grenade for me? It's like, all right, well, I guess you're the parent, like go for it, But no, I feel that just like
Funny.
I'm sure because like it's just like any artist with their art, just like with what they create, it's just like it's tough to let it go. It's tough for some artists to release it.
Yes.
Just because it's like they don't want that. It's like, yo, this is my baby. Like, I just don't want it to be exposed to just anybody,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And sometimes I like make a necklace that I'm super proud of that I kind of want to keep. And I'm like, oh, it's going to sell immediately. I post it. It doesn't sell for weeks. I'm like, you guys, do you see what this is?
Yeah.
And then I end up keeping those
Yeah,
wearing I'm like,
right.
okay, then
Okay, yeah. Word. All right. Yeah, the people have spoken.
to me the most.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, I would be remiss and I forgot this in the intro, but you did some super dope work with this Via Runway show. That was back in April. And like we just had a few of the models, obviously Cat's been on the pod, twice at this point now. So and shout out to Jillian as well, Jillian Saliba, just like super, super dope just crowd and community that like did work on that show. So I just want to say shout out to you again. But how did you like were you familiar with Svia like prior to working with them on the Runway show, or like how did you initially get involved in that?
It's actually very funny. I didn't know of Svea. I didn't know who Kat was. Like I didn't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just had a lovely customer of mine that, shows up to a lot of my pop-ups, is so lovely. We just kind of chat. She's bought pieces of mine, like a great supporter.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how she knows Kat, but she knows her. And this customer's
people just be knowing Kat too, but I'm not sure how I met. I just knew her.
Yes.
I'm like, oh shit.
She's that girl.
Immaculate conception, like she just popped up, like, yeah, what's up?
Girl. That is true, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Knows, but they know each other.
Right.
And this customer of mine was like, yeah, like, have you heard of Svea Swim? And they're putting on this fashion show, and it's all about different art pieces. And there's one look that's all about Salvador Dali and his clock paintings and everything. And obviously, you're the clock girl.
Yeah. Clock girl is crazy.
I love it.
Yeah.
People always message me, "Oh, look, I saw this like watch belt. Thought of you. I'm like,
Yeah.
heck
I'm at a actually a clock tower right now when I just
yeah.
I'm looking at Big Ben and I had to call you. Like
Yes. Anytime somebody
that's hilarious. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
That's kind
right,
of
right.
what I've become like
Sure.
known for.
Yeah, sure, sure,
It's a
sure.
quintessential like
Mm,
design of mine for sure.
yeah.
And this customer of mine was like, I'll put you in touch. And I was like, word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. I
right.
have no idea what to expect. I'm like not scared, but like intimidated, like, oh my God, I've never done anything like this before and what is happening. And so I pretty much talked to Kat like immediately and she ran me through the looks and was kind of like, where would you like to be plugged in? And I was
Right.
like, everywhere if I could,
Yeah, right,
like
right.
I got plugged in pretty late in the process, I would say.
Okay.
So I didn't have time. I had so many ideas for
Yeah.
so many of the looks.
Naturally, yeah,
Oh, I
right,
was
right.
like so excited, like the fossil look. I really like there were so many the coins,
Yeah.
like there were so many ones that I really, really wanted to be a part of. But I connected with Kat and then 2 days later I actually went on a 2 week trip to visit some friends that are living in Spain right now.
Oh, that's fire.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
What part of Spain?
They're in Madrid right now.
Okay, word. All right.
Yeah, they're in Madrid. So I visited them for a week there, and then we went to Marrakesh for a week. So
Oh,
I was gone
shit.
for 2 weeks.
Damn.
It was amazing,
Yeah.
but it definitely inspired like some of the things that I worked on, like being
Okay,
around
yeah,
these
yeah.
different like.
Was that like your first time out the country at all, or?
No,
Okay, all
so
right.
I studied abroad in college,
Okay.
and actually last year again time who knows her not I.
Yeah.
I think yeah last year my very good friend and I we traveled around Europe for 2 months. So
Damn,
we
good
did
stuff.
like Portugal, Spain,
Mm.
Croatia, Italy, and Greece.
That is fire. Yeah, I've been to Greece too. Thankfully, like my high school was even dope enough to like they pretty much sponsored like a whole cruise, like a 10 day
Oh
cruise.
hell
Like
yeah.
also like I'm on like a cruise ship. You know what I mean? With the field hockey and
Oh hell yeah.
lacrosse team, girls
It's
field
a
hockey and like fucking
party.
girls lacrosse team. And we just sailing around Greece. Like we hit Turkey, but like we mostly hit like just like stayed in the Greece like islands like Athens, like Crete, you know what I
Amazing.
mean? Mykonos, Santorini,
Oh my god.
all that good stuff,
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, so like I know Greece was lit, but all those other places like yeah, I mean I haven't definitely haven't been to no Portugal, Marrakesh, I definitely haven't been there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a very, very cool, inspiring experience.
So like it was just even good to see just like creatively, just like yo,
Yes.
like just shit outside the normal
For
shit I see. Yeah, right.
oh yeah, when I got back, like I did a whole whole next drop was very inspired by Marrakesh and like the street vendors there and stuff, like very maximalist. Everything's beaded, everything's over the top, everything, which I love. I love anything that's like in your face. Like I like that.
I've only heard of Marrakesh because Black Widow said it in like an Avengers movie. Yeah, yeah, like her and Hawkeye was like it was either Budapest or Marrakesh or something like that. Yeah, but yeah, right, right.
Very similar.
Yeah, something like that. But even if it was Budapest, like she definitely dropped Marrakesh at some point. But no,
Yeah.
I digress. Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah. So I when I connected with Kat and then I was gone for 2 weeks. And then when I got back, it was kind of like, okay, we have a week and a half
Damn.
until the like
Rehearsal or whatever.
yes, the rehearsal and the photo shoot.
Okay.
So things need to be done in a week and a half. And I was like, heard that, okay.
Yeah.
So really I had a bunch of ideas, but I just focused in on things that I knew I could complete in that amount of time. So I did a lot of work for the Dali look, and then a lot of work for the armor look.
Dope.
A lot of the chainmail that was
Dope.
worn.
That was super fire. Yeah. So just like even speaking on like the like the Dali look, like what was your process in like making that look come to life? Cause and like I'm not sure if you remember the model's name off the top of your head at all. Amina, yo,
Yes.
y'all just came together and bodied that because her walking made that look
Yes.
just super stunning. I like
Yes.
she jumped off the page like she was just like a person you just remember visually because you're just like I've never seen nothing like this. Like this shit was crazy. And then like you to even come up with that is fucking insane. So like, please just even like, kind of break down how that came to life.
Yeah, it was amazing because really I had never obviously made anything for a runway, which is very very different than making things to sell to individuals. It's a very different creative process and it was so fun
Hmm.
because there were no limits.
Yeah.
It was like it actually needs to be bigger, 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 more, more, more
Yeah,
because
right.
like you need to see it from pretty far away.
Right.
I was like, love that. I can put more, I
Hell
can put
yeah.
even more. Like I love that there was nothing could be too over the top for that look, which was very exciting. So I had a bunch of giant watches that I hadn't used for my own stuff because again, it's like it's hard for that stuff to sell.
Hmm.
Your average girly is not looking for literally a clock that they to wear around with their
Sure,
day.
right. Yeah, right.
So luckily I actually had a lot of watches around that really fit this and Kat really gave me a lot of like creative liberties. It was pretty much
That's dope.
as many watches as you can get into this look.
Yeah.
Put them in there.
It's fire.
um and I knew that obviously they were all in bathing suits. So I was trying to think of something that would like give movement while you're walking. I wanted there to be a lot of movement to kind of like liven it up.
Yeah.
And I had made a watch belt for myself probably a year
That's
before
hard.
that.
Yeah, that's hard.
Loved it.
That's hard.
Like it's so fun. It's
Yeah.
so silly and ridiculous. Like
That's hard though.
so I was like, we're going to do a watch belt because then I can have all of these different kind of dripping chains and stuff. And when she walks, it will all be moving
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah.
And so from there, I actually used the belt that I made for myself and I just put it on. It's so funny. The way that I make things is like so ridiculous. Often I'm wearing the things like I don't have like a mannequin or anything that
Right.
was putting it on. Like I was working on the necklace like on my own neck.
That's hilarious. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I
Like,
mean, it's real though. Like, that's how it gets done.
see how does it lay? How does
Yeah.
it, all this stuff. Um so yeah, I worked on the watch belt. That was kind of one of the pieces I really wanted to get right. So that took a little bit. And then the earrings were actually a pretty typical like style of mine, I would say. I use these really gorgeous antique watches, probably from like the 40s or 50s. Put those on the ear, a few of them they're kind of dripping down. Um and then, yeah, the necklace, it was funny. The first rendition I did of it, I sent to Kat, and I was like, I was also thinking of maybe adding like 4 watches dripping down, but I don't know if that's too much. And she
Yeah.
immediately was like, no, do it.
Hell yeah.
Very much.
That's what's dope about Kat though. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's all for like, she's like so supportive in that aspect.
Yes.
I mean, she's like if you think you're holding back, she's like, nah,
Yeah.
that ain't even enough. Like if you having that thought, just know to turn up 10
Yes.
times more. Like,
She's like, bring it. I was
yeah.
like, what about these chains? She's like, yes. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I can really go kind of crazy with it. It's
Sure.
just, yeah. And then the watch shoes, that was definitely like the hardest one to complete.
Wait, cause some shit may have went over my head. There was watch shoes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Alayna, you're ill. You're ill. Alayna, that's fire.
It was so cool.
Chill out, cause that's crazy. I didn't even. Yeah, that went over my head. That's fire.
Yes, it was literally head to toe.
Yeah,
We had watches.
right. Yeah, facts.
Yeah, that was. It's funny because there's this very like viral like Tumblr-esque like picture of this. It's not even this girl, but it's obviously a girl wearing these like stiletto heels, and all the straps are watches. And I can't tell you how many times I've been sent that picture.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Yeah, like
She jocking your style. Yeah, right. Yeah, she's stealing swag. Yeah, yeah.
so I've seen it a million times, and obviously that was like a really great like reference for
Facts.
this look. So I was like, okay, we got to figure out how to do this.
That's tough.
It was definitely tricky because the foot moves so much more than a neck. Like it was just very. That one was very DIY. That was
Yeah,
very,
right,
like,
right.
These shoes cannot be worn again. Like, they're
Yeah.
not. Like,
Yeah, this is a one use only.
yes.
Yeah,
it
for
was
show
really
purposes only.
Yes. Yes, it was for the fashion show.
Yeah, right.
That was their life. That was
Yeah,
the end
right.
for them.
That's hilarious.
Because it was really a lot of hot glue,
Okay,
which is like
copy.
not like the most.
Sustainable.
Yes,
Yeah,
they're
right.
not gonna last
Yeah.
that long. But visually, it was oh,
Crazy.
it was beautiful.
That went over my head to watch. Shoot, I may have to even just find a recap video and go back and just see or no, because like you shot her out on your IG, so I'm gonna have to
Yes.
peep that.
Yes. Yeah, I got to take a few pictures like on my film camera before we did the big photo shoot, and I actually just got that roll back like pretty recently, and it was so cool. I was like, I forgot that this look
Yeah.
was so cool. Like I forgot like how, and it wouldn't have been that without every single person. Amina with the strut. I really wish they could remember who did the hair. I think it's Jules' hair by Jules. Maybe
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly who did it, but
Yeah.
that sculptural hair.
Fire. Fire. No, it was again, she was just one of the models, and like of course all the models, like they were stunning. They did an incredible job, but just one of them that just jumped off the page was that look, bro, just from the hair to the like I'm just like, this is I've never seen nothing like this before, and then even just hear you talk now, the shoes went over my head. Like I couldn't even catch the shoes because I was still trying to process what was going on, like I couldn't even catch the shoes. So shout out to you, and for that to be like your first time doing something like that, what was that experience like? Did you necessarily check something off your bucket list with that?
Oh,
Or
for sure.
yeah.
I was like bouncing around like like I don't usually have deadlines like
Yeah.
that. Like this was my first kind of like you have a creative like outsourced project and a deadline to like follow, and this girl is trusting you with part of her creative vision.
Facts.
It was very interesting. But it was, I mean, yeah, little Alayna like was freaking out. I was like trying to be so chill, but inside I was like, a passion show
Yeah.
going down the runway, like that. I did something like it was very 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 cool and very like inner child like healing moment for
Absolutely.
sure.
No, not super dope. Well, Alayna, I want to first of all thank you so much for coming through. It was again just dope to hear your story. And just really get to know you, and like, just why you do what you do. I think it was very very dope. So thank you for coming through. This is just a point of power. If you want to plug anything, I'm not sure if you have any pop ups going on in the near future. Plug away if you want to drop the IG just so people can find your page. Definitely do that as well. And then it's just kind of your space to speak. So go ahead and let people know. And again, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having
Of
me.
course, yo, absolutely.
Again, I was like, "What? You want to talk to me?" Like that's
Nah, come on, yo.
But yeah, I think the next pop-up that I have is going to be the August neighborhood flea. That is August 10th.
Okay, yeah.
At Southside Works. I will be there with a bunch of one-of-one jewels, thrifted and vintage clothing, some really fun film slide sun catchers that I'm trying to figure out how to display so that people know what they are and they're not just like, what is this? Because that has been happening. And then yeah, my Instagram is _creature.comforts_. Check me out.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, listen, man. MIC Podcast episode 180, where everyone is a master of their own creation. We got Alayna, aka Creature Comforts, in the building. And we're out, bro. Peace.